Hello and welcome to Sonoran Scale Studios, and just about to one of my little local favorite spots. Got the Redcat Gen 8 V2 in the back of the hatch here. Gonna get it out on the trail and go over a year and a half of ownership. What have I changed? Why have I changed it? What would I do again? What would I do differently? How do I feel about the truck now? Pros, cons, all of those things, plus some really cool crawler action. But I've got to get out there before it gets any hotter because it's not even 9 o'clock and we are over 100 degrees already. So I'm gonna get to it. See you at the top of the mountain. Alright, so here we are a year and a half later. Countless battery packs later. Tons and tons of trail hours later. With an opinion and maybe some tips if you're picking up a Redcat Gen 8 V2 a few years after its release. This is still a truck worth adding to your collection if you haven't done so already, without a question. A couple of pros for this truck would be it's economical, coming in around $299, ready to run. It's a great value in the 1/10 scale crawler segment. It's got a very realistic, fully licensed scale Scout 2 body, and it includes nice details like inner fenders that you can kind of see here. It really blacks out the inner part of the wheel well, kind of complementing that scale look. The trade-off is one of the downsides. Right here, you're looking at it. This thing is very prone to rollovers. The body and the design just make its center of gravity a bit taller than it is on some other trucks, or a bit higher than it is on some other trucks. And despite some modifications, despite adding quite a bit of weight to the wheels on this truck, I'm going to be adding more because I'm still experiencing rollovers like this, and it's a far improved truck from the way that it came out of the box. That leads me into another potential negative or downside of this truck, is that the aftermarket segment specific for this vehicle is kind of limited. There is quite a bit of stuff out there, but compared to other vehicles that exist in ready to run format that are this truck's direct competition, it's a bit limited. For a final potential negative, I would say that the argument has been made by many that the stock motor is a bit snappy if you're looking to crawl. If you're looking for trail time and quick speeds for a crawler slash trail truck, this thing's pretty quick out of the box. So a lot of people, myself included, look for alternative ways and ways to slow this thing down. I've also added some matte paint with a matte clear coat to the roof, and despite a lot of rollovers, it's held up really well. That paint is by Team Associated. It's the matte white and then 3 coats of the matte clear coat. It's really, really held up well, and while it's kind of cringy to paint the exterior of a plastic body, this thing's an RTR. I'm not going to take the time. I don't think anybody's really going to want to take the time to go through the hassle of stripping that stock paint. So this will do. What will not do, however, is what I notice right here. While this is some beautiful, beautiful footage, a beautiful location, it is absolutely and shockingly embarrassing to have this dangling out of the bottom of the undercarriage right here. I'm doing everything I can after I've realized that it has been left hanging out, as some of us may have done, to not wrap it around this front drive shaft or hook it up on any rocks and rip this thing off. So once we get it to some flat ground here after that nice line, going to tuck that back up in, and let's take a look at the electronics. This has got the stock receiver still inside the receiver box, but it's being run by a FlySky GT5 6-channel. Now what you saw hanging out was the power button over here for the Hobbywing Quick Run Fusion. This is a 1800 kV version. It's a brushless ESC motor combo all in one. You'll notice there's no ESC. What there is this blue box. That is the LED control module. Another thing that is definitely worth mentioning, a year and a half into use, this thing's still running on the stock steering servo. That is almost unheard of, and I'm not saying that that's happening with a lot of these, but it happened with mine, and I'm still running it, and I'm not changing that thing until it burns out. As far as everything else goes, holding up very well despite these harsh conditions. The rocks that I run on here, for the most part, are really rough, and they chew metal and plastic up, but these rails are holding up very well. I've run this bad rig on a bunch of different sets of rubber, but I have settled on Pitbull growlers. These are in the compound. They're wrapped and mounted to SSD wheels, and I just find them to be a really scale look. They've got awesome performance. They just fit the bill for this spectacular truck. One last thing that I've done is added a sheet of cardboard. Such a simple modification. I do it on a lot of trucks that have clear windows with no interiors. I paint one side of the cardboard black, cut it to size to fit, and hot glue that bad boy into place. It's just as simple as that. Literally 10 minutes tops of your time, and it cleans up, tidies up, covers up all the wires, motor, battery, everything that's inside of that truck. It doesn't look as good as a scale interior, but it looks better than a rat's nest of wires, motor, battery, etc. So while you might want to keep an eye on your temps, keep in mind I'm running in 100 degrees plus on the regular, and I haven't experienced any issues. At the same time, I don't do extended trail runs. I do a lot of either burst trail running or crawling, just like you're seeing here. So after a year and a half of experience with this thing, if I was going back to day one again, I would start with the tires immediately. As soon as I had the funds to do so, I would swap them out. It's not that they don't look good, it's that they don't perform well. They are a very poor performing tire, and I just like to call it as I see it, and that is as I see it for the super swampers that come on this. In my opinion, it's actually a shame because they're a licensed tire. They look nice, but I don't know what was skimped on, if it was the compound or what, but they're just not a good tire. You would do yourself a great service if you just put a set of $15 or $20 Endura tires on this thing versus the stocks. But if you put some quality tires on this truck, it's pretty awesome. And as you can see, I don't drive it all that smart or all that nice. Yet, a year and a half in, not one breakage, not one failure. Every replacement part that I put on it by choice. And even after just slams like that, still this tight, full turnover precision steering to get me out of a tight space like this. So really, if I can drive this thing like a kid that doesn't have any idea what he's doing and smash it around like that, I would say that with as well as a lot of you guys can drive your trucks, this thing would last a lifetime. So a year and a half into owning this thing, would I still recommend it? 100%. Yes, I would still recommend it. That is how it is still in my fleet and still used on the regular. A lot of trucks, I cycle them through. I might review them, and if they're worthy of a review, they make it onto the channel. Some of them don't even make it that far. But the Redcat Gen 8 has not only made it, it has been a mainstay, and it will be in my fleet for the foreseeable future. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching till the end. Click on one of the other videos that you're going to see here, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, give that thumbs up and like before you leave, and we will see you guys in the next one.